back in Quantum Exchange. And we're so
Welcome.
happy to see you here. We have a wonderful, amazing guest with a pretty sick video right now. So, go ahead, present yourself. Who are you? Let us know.
All right, so my name is Junaid, and first of all, thank you so much, JJ and Sandra, for having me on your podcast, on your show. It's my honor to be here.
Our pleasure.
Yes.
So, who am I? Was a question you asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, my name is Junaid. It rhymes with lemonade, and you might be thinking about me whenever you pour yourself some lemonade on a hot day. My story started a long time ago. I grew up in 3 different countries: Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and the US.
Nice.
When I first came to the US, I was in California, and now I'm living in Northern Virginia. But that's all fun. You can just read it in my bio. What's really been amazing in the past and where I come from is I love technology, and I've been in the design space for almost 2 decades and been behind the camera for 3 decades, longer than I've been, actually doing the work. Because I'm so passionate about technology and so passionate about capturing memories, and photos and cameras enable us to do just that, capturing the memories so that you can look back, and every single person probably has a memory of hanging out with their parents, with their grandparents, looking at photos. So what a great way to get started.
Yes. So I want to know, tell us about your studio there. I've been following how you constructed your studio. How long did it take you and can we see it? Can you give us like a little spin of your studio?
Absolutely, I can do what I can with my. Let me just make sure my cameras are on. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 more. Step back. All right, so let's see where we are.
And what are the capacity? Like what can you do in this studio?
Absolutely, I can talk about all of that.
Okay.
So before I even talk about my studio, I like to tell the story why I built the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a reason behind why we do the things that we do. I could probably ask JJ here why he has that guitar sitting in the background, right?
Oh,
He
yeah.
loves to play music, so he's got a guitar in there. He's got a nice blackboard. He likes to jot things down, so when he comes back the next day, it tells him what he's working on. So why I created the studio was 2018. My friend had asked me, hey, can you come on stage at this LinkedIn local event and talk about how to use your smartphone for video production? Now, why did he ask me to talk about this guy? Because at a previous event, I showed up with my smartphone on a gimbal and I'm walking around recording video. And then when he asked me, I was like, hey, yeah, I'd love to talk about it, because a video that I shot in 2014 while I was on a trip, I recorded all the clips using my smartphone. I edited the entire video on my smartphone.
Wow.
And that video has over 35,000 views.
Nice.
All shot on a smartphone. So why did I want to create my studio? Now, I mentioned earlier, I've been behind the camera for 30 years, and I knew what it took to set up a space to record video. I did exactly that. I set up a little space in my basement. It took me about 2.5 hours. But when I stood in front of the camera to hit record and I start talking, I froze. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know where to start from. I had my notes. I had written down an ebook. I knew what to tell, but I just didn't have it in me to start talking. So I was like, okay, I got the camera stuff down. I need to work on this. I need to work on how to talk to the camera, how to tell a story to really pull people in what I'm bringing in. So in 2020, we all were either fortunate or unfortunate. We were all in front of our computers. We were all trapped in a room. And I was able to then bring everything that I knew into my studio space.
Nice.
Using the camera that I've had in my studio space to teach people what I know about cameras, what I know about lighting, what I know about audio. Because yes, I can have a really clean video, but if you can't hear me,
It's not good.
the message is lost.
Yes.
We are all auditory. So what can I do with my studio? I created a studio. It was a long 2-year journey. It took me about 1 year to get everything where I wanted. But then as I was doing that, I had also was working on my ability to talk to the camera. And the more Zoom calls, the more podcast guesting that I got on, the better I was able to have those conversations. So in my studio, I've got multiple camera angles. So here's my side camera angles. This is to show you that this is a actual space that you're sitting in. My first thing that I had done was I put these wood panels on the wall to create a really custom kind of look. And anybody can do that for $100. You can buy these vinyl panels, nail them or glue them on the wall, and you're good to go. Then I had another camera in the back that let me show you what I'm looking at on a daily basis.
Nice.
Because this gives you an idea. This gives you an idea on how to set up a stage. Because all the things that you see right now around me, I've got a whole desk here with pile of junk here, but none of that is viewable in my shot because I've staged this space. There's a ton of things down here as well, boxes and boxes of stuff. So when you set up your stage, you're really thinking of the mind of, okay, what story do you want to tell? And that's where Hollywood comes into play. If you've seen any movies, if you've seen any TV shows, they block the scene because where are they going to put the cameras? How are they going to tell stories? Who's coming in? So it all takes time and thinking and putting it all together. So it's been definitely a quite a journey. So what can I do in my studio? I can create courses without a problem. I can create reels, video, audio, video reels for my TikTok. I can create a ton of marketing material because I have all of these cameras set up to go.
Nice.
Okay. I'm also curious. Do you think that
here's the other thing I could do. I could show off toys that my kids built with my over-the-head camera, right? So I've got 4 cameras is for this exact reason, right? I can show off things. Here's an older iPhone.
Nice.
I'm taking notes on my paper, right? Hey, I'm taking the notes. So you can show off things like that. It just makes it a lot easier when you have multiple camera angles. Just to bring people, like what I'm trying to do is bring you into my studio, right? I'm showing you all the things that I see, and it just connects you with the audience so much more faster.
100%. And I love what about the audio? It's so crispy. What are you doing for the audio?
So for the audio, you want to make sure that you're not blocking, but you're absorbing sound that's going in your room. So when JJ did the intro, I could immediately hear there was some echo in the room because you have flat walls, nothing to bounce things off. Okay. You probably have a hardwood floor. I don't know if you have carpeting on there. No. But that's the first thing that I do, right? Add some rugs on your room because that's going to absorb the sound. It's going to stop the sound from bouncing around and coming back to your microphone. I've got foam panels in front of me. I've got foam panels above me. There's some even over here that are absorbing all of the sound bouncing around. Now, this is not soundproofing. We're doing a sound treatment. We're treating the room so that you have minimum sound coming back to your microphone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I have like the question, like, what effect does having all these studio audio quality and so on produces on the audience, for example? What is the benefits of having all of this?
I love that question.
Uh-huh.
What is the benefit of you of what's the benefit of building a professional studio on your
Yep.
audience?
Mm-hmm.
Well, number one, it immediately gives you authority.
Okay.
It gives you authority that, hey, this guy who's coming on, he spent so much time in perfecting the look that he's going for. He must know something about something. Like, why is he looking so sharp and clear? Because he knows something. Number two, it immediately gives you, as a host, as somebody who's on video, confidence on camera. You're building
Okay.
that confidence. You got authority, and that automatically makes you feel good. What happens when you feel good? When you feel good and you show that through video, people watching those videos are feeling the feels. They're in the same emotional bandwidth as you are. And when people feel good, they are open to receive the message. They're open to whatever it is that you're preaching. They're open to listen to your message. And something that my friend recently told me, I was having a conversation, and he's like, I'm not selling studio builds. I'm selling you an unfair advantage. I have an unfair advantage among the 10 different people that you're going to have a conversation with on Zoom calls, because you like how I sound, you like how I look. There's already a bond, and we love seeing beautiful things. There's a whole industry of magazines where you have really nice looking models, really nice looking cars and photos. It's very attractive. So when
Yes.
you've created an
Okay.
attractive space, you're creating that authority, that influence on other people. Just like Sandra's been watching my journey, and she's like, oh my God, I love all the things that you're doing. And I bring my kids into this journey because they are a very well part of me, of who makes me me, and what I'm trying to teach them as well, that anything is possible.
I love that the most, that your kids are involved. They have a YouTube channel. I mean, I adore your whole operation, family, business. I really, I love it. I love it. That's why I wanted to have you here, because I wanted your energy, the way you speak. I want this for our audience to, and then if anybody has a question, or they can contact you, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So whatever it is that you're facing a problem with in the technology stack place, if you're looking to build a podcast, you're looking to build a studio, you're looking to build your online digital presence, that's where I've perfected, because having that 20 years of experience in web design and user experience design, building solutions, as well as building solutions for myself, because it's a problem that I'm solving for myself, and people see themselves in you when they see that solution come into play.
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious too, and that part of, because what I understand is that you specialize in that, on the look, on the design, the feel of the audio, video, and so on. Storytelling, I see also you have a passion for that. But for people that, for example, also need to know how to reach the audience or the marketing side, do you help people with that too, with that part?
So I do have a team that helps with marketing. You want to create enough content that you yourself are sick of your own stuff. Because when you're sick of your own stuff, then you know
Okay.
that people are seeing you. Then you know that people are
Wow.
looking, then you know that the message is getting across. Because social media is so fast. It's faster than the memory the short-term memory of a goldfish, right? They say
It's true.
goldfish has a 6-second memory. Social media is even faster because as there's a post, immediately you're refreshing the page and now everything is gone and you have to like sometimes scroll down like what was that post I was looking for? And that's what you want to create. You want to create a cohesive message that brings your personality, and that's what I teach in my courses. Building your home studio is bring your personality because that's going to connect you with the audience. I like that JJ has a guitar in his shot, right? I recently bought a acoustic guitar as well, so I'm learning how to play. I've been singing for a long time. I was like, I want to learn how to play, so that immediately tells me that JJ's interest, that's his passion, and we can talk on length on that specific topic alone. Why? Because every single person that's gone through one thing or another, there's a ton of struggle, and that's where we connect.
In the struggle.
The struggle is where we connect with the people.
Oh, get it. In the difficulties, in the hardships, so on.
Yeah.
And which struggles have you had developing your studio and business?
So the struggles that I've had in developing my studio and my business is, again, having the enough confidence to even ask people, hey, can I help you with this thing or that thing? Can I help you? Can I tell you, Sandra, that the light coming from the windows is reflecting on the picture behind you, which is kind of distracting. Right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that having the confidence to even say that to somebody, right? That's a struggle that I'm going through right now, and I've got a coach that's helping me to get over even my own struggles. Because he's like, you have me. He was telling me when I was interviewing him on my show, he's like, you've already sold me on what you do. You don't even need to talk about it. You just need to ask the right questions to then get them to, go into that. So it's been pretty amazing. So amazing that and so much work that I've put into this is that my home studio mastery course is actually now an accredited course taught at universities.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Because I also face that challenge or struggle too, so we connect.
Yes,
that is
exactly
that feeling, maybe impostor syndrome, someone might call it, or that feeling that you are bothering people by asking them or telling them what they need or what might help them. So you mentioned that your mentor helped you by saying to ask the right questions and you're just guide them through questions.
Yeah.
Is something else that might help me or the audience in that challenge?
Great question. So how am I asking questions, right? So there's three ways that people inform others, and the reason why it's really hard or why we even feel the imposter syndrome. Now, just to give you a little clarity, people who feel imposter syndrome are not impostoring at all, because just to even think about that means that you're already in the right direction, because imposters don't have imposter syndrome.
Oh, it's so true. The imposters love to be imposters. So
yes, they do. So if you're feeling imposter syndrome, know that you're on the right path. You're doing, and you're bringing your own heart into all of it. So keep going. The questions to ask is, instead of so there's many different ways, right? So you can tell people what you're doing by document your journey. And as you document your journey, and as you tell people, hey, this is what I'm doing, people will start self-selecting if you're the person they want to work with, if you're the one that's also going through that problem. And then they will reach out and ask you, hey, you were talking about this, and this. Can you help me And
Okay.
that only happens when you tell a ton of times with your own content. You're just telling, telling, telling. And that's what YouTube does. We go to YouTube for three different things: either entertainment, learning something new, or finding a solution.
So
Right.
true.
And for example, I've visited um, YouTube many times. I want to change a tire in my car, or I want to change something in my kitchen or whatever. I'll just go this model number, this thing, and then I'll just jump through the video just to find the thing that I'm looking for, and I'm done. But then there's also people that are talking about certain things that they're experiencing. For example, I can talk about my entire studio journey and what I had to go through on YouTube. And then
Yeah.
now, when you're telling and posting this content on a regular basis, you're teaching people, and then you're building that know, like, and trust factor, so that when they know already know you, they'll start liking you when they see more of your content, and they start trusting you. And when they start trusting you, that's when they make the switch and become your customer.
Wow.
Mm.
I have learned so much today because I don't have issues coming live or being in front of the camera. I can talk all day,
Yes.
but I never pay attention to the sound or, as long as I look good,
Yes.
that's all I've been focused on. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to pay attention to this. And how can we get to your course? Where is your course hosted?
So my course is over at homestudiomastery.com /join the course. You can connect there, but then also we're also building the page for the university link, so you can also take that course. I've got several different levels of ways that people can work with me. One is through we did a challenge back in February, the 5-day challenge. That's really awesome. Just telling people and teaching people what it takes to figure out your room dimensions, figure out your, analyzing your room, figuring out your audio, figuring out your camera, your studio design, all of these things, because I want to teach people what I've done and what I know. And when they see that and they can implement it themselves, that means that they're already motivated to look better and gain better video version. But then if somebody doesn't have the time or energy to do it, then I can fly out and do it for them, or
I
they can do it
love
in a
it.
group coaching.
I love it. We'll fly you out to set up the studio. I love it.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, I also have like a question that is, you mentioned that you like to tell stories and you were learning to tell stories when you speak and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So which type of stories or what storytelling do you like? Uh-huh.
So as we've having a conversation all today, right? I've been telling small, short stories about how I went from one
Uh-huh.
thing to the next thing. So that's the power of storytelling, because I'm not being, I'm not, I'm not reading an instruction manual on a
Mm-hmm.
recipe book. Those are great, but then when you insert story into how this affects this other thing, that's
Mm-hmm.
where you connect. And I sucked at telling stories. I've got a ton of stories, but I was like, I don't even know how to start the storytelling. So what did I do? I learned from others. I have interviewed over 300 people on my podcast. I
Nice.
listened to their stories. I started connecting the dots in my own journey. I've lived for over 40 years, and I've got tons of stories from all parts of my life. I can now weave those stories into something that I'm teaching. I can weave those stories and bring a point that's so much more easy to convey, as opposed to being very technical, being
Mm-hmm.
very dry. And that's the problem with when you're learning at school. There's a ton of stories. There's a lot of dry teaching happening, but you can make it really emotional and make it really lively by telling stories, and you're also getting the point across.
Yes. Yes,
Amazing.
the stories you told us today were great, and they
Thank
were
you, Sandra.
short and to the point. And so, what are you working on right now? What is your? Is there anything exciting happening in your life?
There's a ton of things that exciting happening in my life. I've got a
Great.
brand new baby. I've got a
Oh, that's
2-month-old
true.
baby.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you
Oh,
so much. This is my number 4, and we are very excited to, have 4 kids in the house. They're well spread apart, so that it doesn't feel like I'm taking care of 4 kids. It only feels like I'm taking care of one kid, and then the other kids help out. So that's the most exciting, the most recent thing happening. In Towards the end of September, we are setting a booth over at Traffic and Conversion. We're showcasing a product called the Go Box Studio. This studio box is literally a studio in a box. You open up the suitcase, you unfold the lights and the camera, plug
Nice.
in your laptop, and you
no.
are ready
Set.
to stream. So it's a pretty exciting thing that we're bringing to the US, to the North America, towards the end of September.
Amazing.
Mm, that's
And
really
how do
helpful.
how do you manage to balance your family life and your business? Because I know you're a family man. So how does that work?
So how that works is I just had to clone myself, 5, 6 times.
How you did it? I need to do it too. I need that.
And the best way to clone yourself is to bring a team with you. Hire a team that can do the things that you already know to do, but they can do it a little bit better for you.
Oh,
So when I started my podcast, I was editing all of my episodes.
Oh,
I was recording all of my stuff. I was editing all of my stuff. I was inviting all the people. It wasn't until end of 2018 where I got myself fired from my job because I was spending too much time on my podcast and editing my episodes. It would take me
oh,
3 hours to episode a 45-minute podcast episode.
oh,
And I was
wow.
like, this is not working out, right? This is not happening. And people told me when I was starting out that you should hire a head editor to edit your episodes. But I was like, no, I'm tech savvy. I know how to do this. I'm a video. I've been in video. I've been in photo. I've been doing audio. Uh, I used to sing in a band 20 years ago. I
oh,
know all of this, right? So just because I know all of this does not mean that I have all the time in the world, because my kids need my time, my wife needs my time, my family needs my time, and there's also time for sleeping. There's also time for entertainment.
yeah.
So I was like, how can I maximize my time? Well, I need to hire a team. So now I have a team of 3 or 4 individuals that help me with the podcast production, that help me with the copy, that help me with the
Nice.
promotional aspect, that help me be in different places so that I can be with my family. So that's
Very
how you
nice.
clone yourself. You find what
Oh.
you find what you love to do, and you stick to that one thing. So what do I love to do? I
Uh-huh.
love showing
Yeah.
up on camera and being guest on shows. All
Nice.
the other things I have a team doing for me.
Very
Oh,
nice.
amazing. That's a crucial question. I was also going to ask like your why you do what you do, and it's actually because of that. You love showing up on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's something that I'm finding myself in my life, like
Yeah.
finding that why, because I think that when you find your why, everything feels like a game and not like work, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
It
what
does. It helps you get even more clarity on the purpose of your life.
mm-hmm.
Nice.
We
Okay.
got a little bit existential, but yeah.
So I have a technical question right
Yes,
now.
please.
I so right now I'm not home, I'm traveling,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing the podcast on my laptop, and I noticed that when I get a notification, I get this sound.
Mm-hmm.
Choo. How can I turn off the sound of the computer and still have sound on my microphone?
So what's happening on your computer, on your laptop, is you probably hear the sound in your ears,
Uh-huh.
but we don't hear it. because you
Oh,
have the
okay.
headphones on. And Zoom is recording only the spoken audio that you're speaking as opposed to any sounds that the computer might be making.
This was a super easy solution.
Congrats.
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
felt so professional speaking the solution. Like in a video, could record it and publish it on TikTok. What you do is you hear an audio on Zoom. Don't worry about it.
No, because it bothers me, and I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, it
It's
bothers
also
me.
distracting for you, right? Like, oh,
Mm,
what do I need to go look? So what
yes.
you can also do, if you're on your Mac, you can set up a focus time that don't announce
Mm,
anything for the next hour.
Oh, okay,
So you
okay,
can do a
okay.
do not disturb for 1 hour, and then it'll basically, mute everything. And then when the hour is up, it'll come back and say, hey, um, somebody texted you and they want to give you money.
oh.
I love it. I
And you
love it.
lost it because you weren't
No,
do
you
not
won't lose it
disturb.
because they're already reaching out to give you money, right? So they're gonna wait
Okay.
because
Okay. Yeah.
because they know what you bring to the table.
So,
Amazing.
and what's the name of your podcast?
Yeah.
So my podcast is called Hacks and Hobbies. The reason I've got hacks and hobbies because I started the podcast to talk about my beekeeping journey. I'm a beekeeper. I'm a
Oh,
cyclist. I'm a videographer, right?
I
So
love that.
What is
You know,
beekeeper? I'm
that
not familiar.
the
Uh-huh.
bees, las abejas.
honeybees.
Ah, BBB. Okay.
So, did you
Amazing.
know? I'm going to tell you something right now.
Yes,
Did you
please.
know that when you handle the bees, they give you more longevity? You're going to live
Mm.
longer.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if they bite you, you become immune to so many other things. It's amazing. I wanna have my own bees eventually. So this is
Okay.
so. I didn't realize you were doing beekeeping.
Yeah, so the entire journey of the hacks and hobbies started as a beekeeping journey, as documenting that hobby. I was reading
Mm.
Gary Vaynerchuk's book, and Gary told me, document your journey. And I was like, what am I doing right now? And so in 2018, beginning of 2018, I had just finished my beekeeping course. I took an 8-week course, and I was like, hey, perfect. I can document my beekeeping journey while recording the podcast. So I jumped in my car, started talking about beekeeping. So the entire first season of my podcast is all around beekeeping.
Nice.
And
Mm.
then towards the end, I was like, hey, I wonder if other people are talking about things that they are crazy about. And I've been interviewing ever since.
Very nice. So that's why you look so young and beautiful because you're around the bees. No wonder.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's your secret.
Okay.
It's not so secret anymore, but
The
that's
secret is out.
amazing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that means you harvest your own honey?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Like honey is like the God's food. It
It
doesn't
is.
it
We're
doesn't
gonna we're going
rotten.
to have rivers of honey flowing in heaven.
Yes.
Hmm.
I love it. I wouldn't thought that you'd be into beekeeping, but there you go.
See, I haven't been posting enough, right?
No, no, no. No, I need to see more. I want
Hmm.
to see your operation. I will be lovely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
So, do you have any other questions, JJ?
Mm, no, I think that's amazing for now. That's absolutely astounding. I love the stories. I love the look. I love the professionalism, the way that you storytell too. And pretty nice to meet you, my man.
Very nice to meet you as well, JJ.
So, I would like to maybe, if it's possible, that you can send me some links where people can contact you,
Sure.
Mhm.
maybe whatever you want to share with us that we
Okay.
can share with our audience. That
Yeah,
would
I
be
can I can
amazing.
email you all of the links for you
Yeah.
for the site.
And I just want to say thank you so much for taking time of your busy schedule to indulge in this podcast
Of
with us.
course, Sandra. I love talking and I love giving, and this is how I get to work on my craft. This is how I get to work on my stories and getting better every single time.
100%, I agree. And so do we. That's why we started the podcast because we want to connect with
Mm-hmm.
more people every day, every week, and then present our audience with an array of different things as far as
Yeah.
business, self
Mm-hmm.
growth, and yes. Okay, so I want to ask you one question, one last question, which is how do you foresee, well, you know how we're going into Web 3.0
Mm-hmm.
and NFTs and metaverse and all that? How are you adjusting to all of that? Because you're heavy into technology. Are you aligning with it? Are you rejecting it? What are your thoughts on this new way of doing business in the near future?
Of course. So Web3 is very powerful. It's coming, it's it's actually here, right? Web3 is here. Metaverse is a little farther away because it requires technology to catch up and the adoption rate. The funny thing is, only 6% of the entire world is involved with Web3. That's a very
Wow.
small number. So we're
Wow.
still at the precipice, we're still at the beginning of
Yes.
this revolution. So industrial revolution has been around for the past 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and within that industrial revolution, we had the information age for the past 20 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
and for the past 10 years, the social media has been around. So we're going to still have some of the stuff that's been around for years and years.
Okay.
And slowly in the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, we'll
Oh,
probably
wow.
see a really big, massive change. Just like now, nobody's posting their phone numbers on billboards anymore because we have such powerful search engines. They'll just have a little icon of Instagram, and automatically where to go to search it.
That's
So
true.
the power of Web3 is that the creator, that is you and I, will have control over who gets to distribute your content. And
Oh,
every time that this content is distributed, you get a royalty for it.
nice.
So
Nice.
it's coming together really fast, and big companies like Disney and Apple, not Apple yet, but Disney and Nike and a lot of
And
these
Gucci.
companies are already in Gucci, exactly, and
Mhm,
Louis Vuitton. They're
mhm.
already building products in the NFT world,
I
in
know.
the
I
Web
love it.
3.0, so that it almost becomes like a membership. If I tell you the truth,
Mm-hmm,
it's like a membership that you have, that you're going to have this relationship with this company for
Mm-hmm.
years and years to come. So how can we implement that in our solutions right now?
mm-hmm.
If you have a course, you can start offering NFT to your students, because now that, let's say they've spent a big chunk of money to purchase and get access to your course, they can also have a commemorative NFT that then connects you with other people that also have NFT.
Oh, I
Then you're
love
also
it.
bringing in your course into the NFT world, and people will get curious because it's a now brand new market. Like, wait, what are you doing again? Oh, you're teaching how to set up studios. I need a studio. I love NFT. Let's connect. So
Okay.
it's just another channel to promote your content, to promote what you are about.
Okay. I love this approach, and thank you so much. It was a beautiful answer and
Thank you.
very enlightening for sure. Because I love this whole thing. I mean, we set up a whole consultation for NFTs and blockchain because I know this is what's coming. This is
Mm-hmm.
where we're heading to. And,
Yes.
and I'm eager to, like people like you that are involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I'm in the street talking to, I went to get a new phone the other day, storytelling here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get a new phone to record my videos. I want to get the best phone, blah, blah, blah. So I asked the people, hmm, what are your take on the metaverse on Web 3.0? And they were like, huh? They have no clue
No
of
clue.
what I'm talking about. So I was like, gosh, I have so much work to do to to
Mm-hmm.
inform people about these changes that are coming.
Yeah.
you know uh, so yeah, this is amazing. I love your approach, so thank you very much for
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a new there's a new crypto business conference coming to San Diego in October. put together by the same guy, Michael Stelzner of Social Media Marketing World or Social Media Examiner. So they're putting that event together. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're going or if you've heard of it about it, but super excited for that.
Are you going?
I wish I could, but as of now, don't have
sure.
plans.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we'll see, and then we'll definitely see you in the metaverse for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is it for today, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, JJ.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sandra. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
Have a
Ciao,
beautiful
ciao.
day. Bye.